Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to track your shares, options trades, wheel strategies, dividends, interest payments, whatever it may be. Basically how to track everything in your portfolio through a spreadsheet on Google Sheets. And it'll be the first link in the description will be a template that you can use that looks just like this. And yeah, we're going to be covering every single part of this in today's video. Alright, so we are here on the home page. To start off, we're going to be looking at the deposits and withdrawals section. To just begin, you want to put your total deposits in your portfolio right into this box here. So for example, if we're looking at my portfolio, you can see it is 7,500. If you're on Robinhood, you can just click the all-time chart and you can basically just hover before you had any kind of trades moving in your account. You can see your total deposits would be right here. So for me, it's 7,500. And you're just going to want to type that in during the amount section right here. And you're going to want to put in, because it's a deposit and not a withdrawal, you're going to want to put the date. So you can pretty much put today whenever you're working on this. And then the reason, just put initial. And then for future reference, if you make a deposit into your account, you just want to drag this box down. You want to highlight the first box and drag the blue box down. And you can just type in whatever the amount might be. And this is just useful because you can track when you put deposits in your account, why you put deposits into your account. Like let's say the source or reason was just weekly deposit. You can just type that in and you'll know, oh, I deposited $100 on, July 31st and it was my weekly deposit. So this is just a great way of keeping track of how much cash is in your account or that you're taking out and why. And you can see that'll update your total deposits right here. Next, you're going to want to get the current value. So that is literally just the copy and pasted value of your portfolio, which you can see for me is $7,735. And yes, guys, the portfolio is popping off right now, but we'll cover that in tomorrow's portfolio update video. Because that is not what today's video is for. But you can see current value. Just simply paste in your current portfolio value and you can see it'll automatically calculate how much money you've made dollar-wise, percentage-wise. It'll put all of the values in on this page, and it's just very useful to just take a glance at and know, okay, I've made 200 bucks, okay, I've made 3%, or okay, I'm down X amount. And it's just a nice way to look at your total performance basically. And this value doesn't necessarily need to be updated, but you can just update this every week if you want, just to get like an overall view of your portfolio. I update it very loosely, so you can just update this whenever you want. And yeah, so that is page 1. Next, we're going to jump into shares. So for shares, you're going to see this little template here, and for each share position you have, you're going to want to drag this down for every amount of shares that you want to enter in here. So for this example, I'll just be doing 1. If you just have a closed position, or you just make sure you always have a template, so don't ever delete one of these. I would make a copy and just leave it here, just because there's a ton of formulas that you need to have, and if you end up closing a position, you're gonna have to delete that formula, and then you're gonna never have the portfolio, or sorry, you're not gonna have the formula again when you have another open position. So just make sure you have a copy of one of these rows just saved up for the next position you might have. Whenever you make a new position, just create another copy, that way you always have the formulas here. But for this example, I'll just be doing 1. So we're going to start off with ticker. So I'm going to be doing my key shares. So, which by the way, let me tell you, key is like going crazy right now. Key is at 1258. So what you're going to want to do is, so for this example, we're doing key. So we know that key has a ticker symbol of KEY. So you're going to want to type in the ticker symbol of whatever stock you're tracking into this box and hit enter, and it'll automatically update a ton of stuff for you. Next, we want to enter the debit that we paid to enter the position. So this is going to be your average cost. You can see Robinhood makes it very easy to find that. Mine is $9.30. So you're going to want to do that average cost and type that into the debit slot. So $9.30, boom. Next is the count. You're going to want to type in how many shares you purchased for that price. For me, it's 100, and you can see it automatically updates everything for you. You can see our gain is automatically here, our percentage gain, and you can see this is pretty much exact to what Robinhood states. So this is a perfect way to keep track of your shares. And the only thing else you can do is put in the day that you opened the trade. So for me, I opened it quite a while ago, and leave the date closed just as is for now. These two values are not going to be accurate until you close the position. So while it's open, I would just leave these alone. And boom, there you go. You've tracked an open share position, but how do you make sure, or how do you track it when it's closed? First of all, we have to remember we want to always have a copy. So I would always keep a copy that has no information in the ticker and debit slot, and I would just keep this copy here. But when you want to close a position, you're going to take the outcome and you're going to click closed, and then you just want to edit the credit. That's all you want to edit, is the price that you sold your shares for. So let's say I sold them for $12 a share. You can see it'll lock these values into place. That'll be my total gain percent, and these values will now be locked in place. You're going to want to change your date closed to whenever you close the position, and it'll automatically update the days opened. And there you go. Now you have a closed position and you know how to track an open position. Additionally, if you got assigned the shares via a put option or a call option, I would put assignment as your requirement. And then if you got assigned shares on a call option for outcome, I would put assigned as well. That way you know your shares got called away. But if you're just doing regular old share positions, then you can just put closed and purchased, which is right here. So yeah, that is how you do shares. Let's jump into options, dividends, and interest payments. So now we're in the income tab, and this is where you're going to track all of your options, your dividends, and your interest payments like I was talking about. This is what your template's going to look like by default here. You can see we have two slots. We have one example for a cash secured put and one for a dividend. Similarly to key, you're going to start with your ticker symbol. So for this example, I'm going to use, what should we use? I mean, pretty much all these options are worthless. Let's use the Labu 550 that I got here. So for this, we're going to be using this Labu 550. So to start off, we're going to put in Labu in the ticker. Next, we know that this position is still open as of right now, so we're going to click open. We don't want to mess with these. We go to type. We know this is a cash secured put, but if you have, let's say, a covered call, or you have some kind of credit spread, or it's a dividend, or it's an interest payment, or it's a caller, you know, whatever it may be. For this example, it's a cash secured put, but you want to put whatever type of strategy this is. And if you want to add more, you can always click the edit button and just add a new entry right here. But for this example, this is a cash secured put. Next, we have credit and debit. So credit is what you got paid to enter this position for, or whether that be a dividend, interest payment, whatever you got paid, you're going to put in credit, and you're going to do it per share. So you don't want to just type in $10. You want to put in how much you got paid per share. So for Labu, I got paid, let's see, average credit, $4. So I got paid $4 to enter this position. So we're going to jump back over here, credit of $4, and this position is going to expire worthless. So we're going to assume, we're just going to skip ahead in time, and we're just going to say, for example, that this expired worthless. So for $0, we're going to put in a debit of 0, and then we want to go to count. That's why this isn't updating, because of count. You're going to want to put -1 for your count, because short options are -1. Boom, there we go, credit, debit, and our count. So I guess this would technically be a closed position. Next, we want to go to strategy type. You can add your own with the pencil here, but for this, it would have been a weekly spread, or not a spread, a weekly cash secured put. I just like to keep track of what DTE I'm using and what strategy. So for this, it would be weekly. Collateral, for this example, we had a strike price of $550, so we had to put up $550 in collateral. So I'm going to put $550 in collateral. Boom. And next, let's say I opened it on Monday and closed it today. We would have gotten, it would have been 4 days that it was open for. That'll automatically update, and you can see over here the gain has automatically updated. If this were to still be an open position, if you guys have open positions that you want to track, I would leave this as open. I would leave count empty for now. That way this doesn't get factored in. I would leave debit empty, and I would just leave your credit, and I would just update these. I would update all of these values again once you close the position. So that is how you would do both an open and a closed options position. For a dividend, let's do an example of Key. Let's say Key paid us a dividend. For a dividend, it would always be closed because there's no open position with dividends. It would obviously be a dividend. That is the type. The credit, we want to do how much we got paid per share for the dividend. So let's say we got paid 15 cents a share for the dividend. There would obviously be no debit. The count would be -1. And the strategy type would be dividend. The collateral would be how much our shares would be worth, so I would say like 1,200. And the open and close date would be the same day because dividends get paid automatically. And you can see that is automatically updated the gain in dollars and gain in percent values. And yeah, so that is how you track a dividend and an open/closed options position. If you want to track an interest payment, very similar to dividend, you just change this to interest and how much you got paid divided by 100. So if I got paid $3, I would put 0.03 because everything here gets multiplied by 100 because we're normally using options contracts. And just to not make this confusing and make it easy, we're just going to divide whatever value it might be by 100 that we got paid. So that's how you would do interest. Next up, we have the monthly information. So if you guys ever want to create a new month, you're just going to essentially copy all of this and then paste it in the next slot. And you can see it'll just add everything, and then you want to remove your positions from last month and just update the month titles here and here. So that is how you would add an extra month. But for this current month, for this example, we're doing June, we're just going to go through how all these values get updated. So first of all, deposit or withdraw during the month. Did you make any kind of deposit or any kind of withdraw during the month? For this example, we're going to say no. I just like to keep track of this because I like to know if I was contributing to my portfolio that month. Next is margin being utilized. Am I using margin in this account for this month? For this example, we'll say no. This is just useful information because it can kind of tell you how your ultimate percent will come out. So I just like to keep track of it. You don't have to if you don't want, but you can just put yes or no depending on what your situation might be. Total deposits is the total amount of deposits in your account by the end of that month. So this is just to help with the percentage information. So however many dollars you have deposited by the end of the month. For this example, we'll say 7,500. Profit and loss. So you have starting and ending. So this is how much profit or loss you had overall in your account, unrealized pretty much by the start of the month, and this is how much you had by the end of the month, and you just type in each value. So for example, for the month of July, let's see, July started right here, so we would take whatever value we had on June 30th, which was 125.36, so that would be our starting, 125.36, and then our ending we can grab from, since this month isn't technically over, I'm just going to grab my current P&L, which is 224 is my overall, paste that in there, and it'll subtract the difference and tell you your overall P&L in dollars and percentages. And then for income, this will automatically update based on what you enter here in this area. If you ever need more space, you can just right click on this column and do insert row below, and then if you need to expand expand the income, you can just change this second value to whatever row your income ends on. So if we want to add a couple rows, we can do 45 and it'll expand all the way down here. And then yeah, everything else is automatically calculated, and that would be how you basically do each month. Is you just want to change your starting, your ending, your total deposits, and everything else will follow suit pretty much. So yeah, that is how you track options, dividends, and interest payments, also shares, your overall portfolio value. And yeah, so that is the first of hopefully many tutorial videos to come that I can make every single week for you guys. If you have any questions regarding anything in this video, or you need help with anything, please comment down below. I will answer every single question. If there's anything I need to go more in depth on in another video, a follow-up video, I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know. And if you have any requests for any tutorials involving options, dividends, whatever it might be, leave it down below and I'll take a look at all your comments. But yeah, other than that, you guys should look forward to tomorrow's portfolio update video, because as you can see, we are doing very good right now, and I'll cover everything that went down in the portfolio this week. And yeah, I hope to see you then. Bye.